Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet.
Reyes has just completed his break, and his break is working much better tonight for him than it did last night.
Before that last game, Strickland had recorded another 8-point lead, or 8-game lead rather, over Reyes, but Efren Reyes was able to win the last game, so it's now 47-40. And this is another opportunity for Efren to gain some headway.
Yeah, much needed momentum back. He made a real nice shot moving the 7 ball away from the 9 with that last one and maintaining the cue ball on line for the 4 ball as well. Efren really hasn't made very many mistakes. He just hasn't had enough turns.
Right. And some stroke of bad luck has also affected his performance tonight.
Well, he's still got some work to do here. He's going to have to negotiate the cue ball off the 8 ball and pick up a shot on the 7 position-wise. He played it great. Moved the cue ball all the way down here. A lot of players wouldn't have thought of taking the chance of doing that. He barely caught the point of the side pocket. Now he's trying to make another nice shot with power into a small side pocket at the angle he approached it. Yeah, another good shot. Well, this game was won by terrific shot making.
Yeah. It's 47, Strickland 41, Reyes. Also, the charming ladies on hand to help out. And the color of money, this $100,000 challenge, winner take all. And certainly, Mr. Bob Moore has invited a lot of them.
Well, Efren made the 1 ball on the side, and as we said last track, his break is definitely working better tonight.
Efren Reyes trying to get back into the game. He currently trails by 6 games, 47-41.
He's weighing up how he wants to obtain position, and there's a couple choices. One, he could use draw on the cue ball backspin and go to the end rail first directly, or he could come to the side rail and use some inside spin. And he chose the inside spin to the side rail first. Looks like it's worked out pretty well. I think he's going to try to hit this ball very softly. He used a little speed. A little extra speed. I'm not sure that it's worked out. He's going to have to make a nice cut back to the corner pocket. Oh, excellent. Excellent shot. Made that look easy. That was quite a bit tougher than what it appeared. Also, a huge advantage. Soft speed of the pocket, Ed. The pocket is so much more willing to accept the ball that's slightly errantly struck. Reyes is really showing some break and run out skills of his own here this evening.
Yes.
We were denied the privilege of seeing much of that last night.
He gains some ground here, and the score is now 47 Strickland, 42 Reyes. Score is 47 for Strickland and 42 for Efren Reyes.
Another ball-crushing break by Reyes tonight. Stopped the one ball pretty good, or stopped the cue ball pretty good. The big trick here will be getting position on the two ball. The two ball rests very near the cue ball, and he's eyeing up where he would like to be. The one ball is not just an absolute gimme. He's going to have to cut this one ball pretty thin, and this makes cue ball control a little precarious. A nice shot. Had to tickle the two ball. You generally avoid running in object balls, but the difficulty of the one ball was such that you couldn't have total command over the table like you would like. Still got some negotiating to do. He's a little bit what we call off angle, which means the cue ball doesn't naturally want to float over to where he would like to be for his next shot. It's going to require some manipulation on his part. And he chose the safe route. That's what we call cinching the ball, making sure he made the two ball.
Whoa.
Well, he clearly was dissatisfied with the outcome of the shot. He moved his body, and this is maybe the second time within the last couple of days that it looked to me like he just flinched a little bit on delivery of the stroke.
Well, as he sat down, Efren let out with a big grimace.
Appears he was fortunate and didn't leave Earl much of a shot here. Earl's wasting no time in illuminating that point for the audience.
Tim with a good shot, however.
They made a legal hit, but unfortunately it turned out much to Mr. Reyes' favor.
Yes.
Mr. Strickland is the more temperamental and high-strung of the two players by far, and
that's an understatement there, O'Brien.
Yeah, it certainly is, but somehow I think it adds to the genius of his play. I think to take that away from him would maybe tie him up a little bit. I don't think he'd be as free to express his skill on the table if he couldn't express his mind verbally as well.
Well, it certainly spices up the match, and now Efren Reyes has cut the lead down to only 4 games, 47 to 43.
Efren set the break once again. Been doing a very nice job with the break tonight. Really controlling the cue ball well. Much better. He's obtained a kiss. He's come up a little bit dry. He's clearly dissatisfied.
there any way that, or any kind of a situation where the referee could penalize a player for what he would perceive to be improper behavior?
Well, that's certainly a possibility, and the one problem with that is we have a relatively inexperienced referee, and you really hate to do that. But it's an arbitrary or judgment call, and there's certainly been times before, and then Mr. Strickland will be no newcomer to that anyway. Or one time we used to have a thing in the pro tournaments where you couldn't concede the 9-ball, or it was a $50 fine. And Earl missed a shot, swept the 9 off the table. The tournament director came out in the middle of the tournament and said, Mr. Strickland, that'll be a $50 fine. Not so much that he just wanted to inform him not to do it again. And Earl was not in a real good mood. He said, here's $100. Keep it for the next time when I do it.
Well, characteristically Strickland. But it has also been very characteristic of Earl Strickland to just bounce back, and now has put up another 5-game lead over Efren Reyes, 48-43. Five-game match, 48-43.
Well, that's something that we haven't seen from either player. It's the first time that we've seen this cue ball flew off the table, and Earl lost his concentration there just briefly while he was instructing the referee in the proper way to handle his job. And I know what Mr. Strickland feels. He feels like he shouldn't have to tell the referee or his opponent their jobs, because he's a perfectionist in his. And in most other sports, they have the knowledgeable staff to help. But unfortunately, pool's not to the stage where, in reality, we just don't have the experience level.
Right now, Efren trails by 5 games, 43-48. And he just can't seem to sustain the run that he starts.
Well, the problem that's happening to Efren tonight is that Earl is just breaking and running out so many games that he's denied any opportunity to possibly lay claim to. He really hasn't committed that many unforced errors. I think each player maybe has 2 at this point, but Earl has clearly won the break and run out contest.
Oh, yes.
And Efren's done an excellent job with that aspect of it. And here you see what I'm talking about. When somebody fouls on the break, boy, it's just a terrible thing. You lose that game for sure, and sometimes a couple more with it.
And after Reyes seized the day there, and it's now 48 Strickland, 44 Reyes. Efren Reyes at the break, with the score standing at 48 games for Strickland and 43 for Reyes. And once again, he is unable to get something out of the break.
Well, for sure tonight, it appears to me, and it's easy to say when someone's having more success, but it really appears that Efren's concentrating better on the break shot. Really focusing on making sure he makes a good square contact, and it's a result. You can see the cue ball stopping dead nearly every time. It's really the first position shot that I've seen Earl struggle with a little bit. Not that that was an easy one. Balls hanging in the pocket are the hardest ones to play position from. Earl is absolutely undeterred. He'll show you some great pocketing when he misses with position.
That seems to be the problem now, Mike.
Earl perceives a motion in the background, I believe. Oh, great shot. Great shot. It's just a little bit out of line here. He's got to muscle up and fire one in. Wasn't quite as severe as it looked, or at least as he gestured it might be. Okay.
49 Strickland and 44 Reyes.
Well, Earl toughed out a real good game last time for him. He didn't have real good position, but certainly he remembers now that his last got focus on the previous break shot. He's trying to ascertain total mental concentration. You can see the result of the cue ball would indicate that he succeeded. The ball didn't go in. So just like Earl was the recipient the last game of an opening shot from Efren to break, this time Efren is the recipient of a pretty good shot from Earl's break.
Well, you certainly get blessed when your opponent has a good break but doesn't get any luck as far as getting those balls to go in, and you're in good position now.
Nice spin shot by Reyes.
Well, Efren Reyes needs to start to get going again if he wants to stay in this game. He's behind now by 5 games, 49-44.
He hasn't really been blessed with a lot of easy shots tonight. Every shot he's had to make, he's had to really execute to make them. This is another byproduct of a terrific break, is that a lot of times the balls end up near the pockets, and most of the time when Efren's come to the table, and they've been in the center of the table, and he's had to fight with them a little bit to make them go. Hasn't caused him to miss, just caused him to use a little more energy.
Yeah. Efren Reyes again taking advantage of the good fortune that he got off the break of Strickland. It is now 49-45, still in favor of Earl Strickland.
Well, we've got quite a battle brewing here. Reyes trails by 4 games.
Well, that has been the story ever since we started tonight's session. Efren Reyes has been playing catch-up, but cannot quite get over the hump. And still the bad fortune on the break continues to hound Efren.
Well, he hit the rack off the square, and you can see it. He's concentrating better for sure. Cue ball stopped dead, but the balls just are not going in. Topspin shot, which he did. He's making sharp work of this rack.
Well, his shot making has certainly been impeccable tonight, Mike. You could see the confidence in the movement of Earl Strickland.
I don't know if he's going to like the outcome of this one. Yeah, I guess he got there on the monitor. Couldn't see what he did.
And Strickland ups his lead again to 5 games, 50-45.
Interestingly enough, the last 3 games have been won from the other player's break. And,
that's true.
Just recently, the balls haven't been going in quite as liberally as they were earlier. It could be a tribute to the table conditions changing a little bit. There's quite a few people in here, a little humidity, and the friction is starting to become more apparent from the wear of the cloth.
Well, Strickland electing to go over to the underside again.
Believe it or not, this actually favors the Reyes style of play. If the balls quit going in as freely, and each player comes to the table with a shot, and here we've seen both players come up dry the last 4 breaks. This is might have just been a waiting game for Efren to get established here and get the conditions to his liking. I know initially they started off to Earl's liking. And
well, in the background there of Efren was a picture of Earl Strickland.
Now, Efren made a nice shot, but he overcut the pocket just slightly. I don't mean that he missed the ball. I just mean he hit the high side of the pocket and left a little too much energy in the cue ball. So now he's forced to make a very difficult thin cut. And this is an imminently missable ball. He hit it a little heavy here. I don't know that he's going to be rewarded. No. It would appear that we're in the position where he's going to have to make a safety. I think what he's going to do is try to put the cue ball by the 5 ball and bank the 3 ball across table. And he's not happy with that. It's not a good safety, but it just gives Earl a chance to kick it and have something fortuitous happen.
Let's see if Earl can pull this off again.
Well, I feel confident he's going to hit the ball. The outcome of the shot I'm not sure about. Earl made a nice hit. He's used good speed, and he's going to leave Efren a very tough ball to make. And this is not the type of shot you like to step to the table facing. Efren played it spectacular.
Yes.
Absolute finesse. A player of any less skill than the great Efren Reyes more than likely would have found a way to miss that last shot. And I think you can kind of see how he has to kind of fight with the balls. They're not cooperating real nicely for him tonight.
Well, it's a test of his ability to compose himself and accept the realities of the situation and work around it.
Well, absolutely, and he's used to playing like this from playing in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the conditions there are less than ideal.
Well, of course, so we have so many billiard halls, and looks like Efren doesn't really take his pick from among those billiard halls, so wherever he feels like playing, he goes there.
Now, this is a tremendous run out and a much needed boost to his morale, I'm sure.
Oh yes, he really needed that. So Strickland leads the series 50 games to 46. With the score standing at 50 games, Strickland 46, Reyes. Efren at the break.
Oh, once again, a tremendous break. And, he's been rewarded by making the 9 on the break.
Well, a bit of a reversal of fortunes here. You look at that break again, and you see the 9 ball rolling into the corner pocket.
Interesting enough, none of the other balls went in, which that really that does mean that this table's turning away from allowing the balls to go in on the break, and that definitely does favor Efren's style of play. Another tremendous break, and that time the wing ball flew in. And even if Efren doesn't come out with a good offensive shot, just having the right to play the first safety is big in this, oftentimes resulting in a win, especially with someone that's masterful at safeties as Efren Reyes. Look how beautiful this has turned out. He's lodged it in behind a group of 4 balls and left the 1 ball in the center of the table. The idea of leaving the 1 ball in the center of the table is it really diminishes the possibilities of hitting it. When it's near a rail, it becomes what we call a big ball, which means you can hit the rail just before the ball or the ball. And the ball, you can hit either side of it or sit head on, so it's nearly 3 balls wide. Now, this is something this is strategy pool. And what we've seen here is Strickland has decided to take an intentional foul and give up ball in hand in an effort to tie up some of the remaining balls and make it difficult for Efren to go ahead and clear up the game and maybe buy himself yet another chance to kick or hit a ball. He realized that hitting the 1 ball was near impossible. Tried to make the most use of that shot. Efren made a nice breakout. There was some luck there, and luck didn't turn out all that favorable for him. but I'm confident that Efren's going to play a safety here that won't be all that appealing of a look to the table when Earl comes back.
Well, we've seen him do that several times in this match.
And he's placed that quite nicely. Locked it on the back of the 5,
yeah,
which really denies the ability to hit downward on the cue ball. Efren making sure the 2 ball is not frozen to the cushion. Yeah, this is the most unappetizing shot to have to come to the table. Yeah, I was satisfied. This might be one of these shots where, yeah, you might have to try to double the corner pocket. If you use topspin, that makes this ultra difficult. Well,
what's Efren?
I'm not sure. I think that was a foul. Legal hit.
So the referee agrees with Earl Strickland that it was a legal hit.
Another terrific billiard shot. Efren's sighting it to see if he's got a shot.
It's just amazing to watch Efren Reyes come up with these masterful safety shots.
Earl's looking at it. He's faced with a situation. I think he has to hit the 2 ball by going rail first, and he made one of these very nicely early in the match tonight. Made this exact shot. Well,
Makes it again.
Tremendous shot. Now we might have a little turnaround here. Efren is coming to the table facing a kick shot.
He says not as good as Efren's.
Efren gave us a little flash of a hint of a smile here. Score is now 50-47, so Efren really did a masterful job to offset all the wins that Earl's made off the break, and Efren made a tremendous kick shot. And this is what we call making something of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Strickland return the safety, and well, I think it'll be a ball that Efren can hit. I'm not sure that he'll go for offense here. He may have to choose to go for defense. He's weighing on his options now. Yet again, Efren comes to the table with not the best, easiest shots. Even the safety's very difficult here.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Well, he's taking his time and trying to figure out if there is a solution to this puzzle.
Well, he's really had to fight with the balls tonight. They haven't cooperated very nicely, and he's made the most of his opportunities. But well, he played offense, and I want to tell you one thing I saw there. He really kept his body locked still. He overcut the ball a little bit, which is what we call when you overcut a thin cut of that difficulty. To overcut it is the pro side to miss on. The amateurs bludgeon it right directly into the rail. So. Earl's presented with a golden opportunity to take this game. Worried the cue ball was going to get straight in. He wanted a little more of an angle. He made a nice shot. Oh, tremendous shot. Tremendous shot. Now this kid has the eye of the tiger.
Well, there was a hard-fought game there between Strickland and Reyes. Strickland winning out and coming up with another 4-game advantage at 51-47.
Yeah, right. It's 51-47.
Score stands at 51-47 in favor of Earl Strickland. Welcome back to Ridgeway's Bar and Restaurant here in Hong Kong with Ed Pixon and Mark Wilson right along the table and getting a good view of the proceedings here.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a one-shot win here. I think Earl's going to play a 2-9 combination to win the game.
He gets it. Win number 52 for Earl Strickland. And again, he posts a 5-game lead over Efren Reyes at 52-47. Well, Strickland certainly had a magnificent start tonight, Mark, that he has been using as a cushion as against the offense of Efren Reyes, which hasn't really gotten going as much as he'd like.
Well, the only thing that separates the players right now is that Earl has just broken, ran out more times than Efren has tonight. On the games where they each battled a little bit, Efren's made some headway there.
But the way it is, the character of the match tonight certainly is a lot different from what we had previously.
And the standard's even higher. They played very well last night, but tonight it's just unbelievable. Earl made a ball in the break, and he's baffled as to what type of a shot to play due to the fact that the 3 impedes his shot on the 2 ball. He's calling push out. Probably a wise decision. I do not look for Efren to return the shot to the Earl. I believe Efren will try to make something out of this. It would appear on the monitor as though the 2 will pass by the 9 down into the corner pocket. And, well, it's not an easy shot. It's one that you certainly can't give Earl Strickland. Efren moved his body a little bit on that shot. I don't believe he was attempting a safety there. I think that he was fortunate. I think he was trying to pocket the ball. Not sure what type of a play on this shot that Earl has. Oh, he's making a safety. And it's going to be an adequate safety. It won't be ideal. He would like to have the cue ball lodged up there next to the 5-9. And Efren's made a spectacular kick. Earl's eyeing up a shot here. He may be playing a bank shot. Oh, he's playing straightaway safety. Appears that he's accomplished it. And this is a much improved area of Earl's game over the last few years. He used to just be offense, offense, offense. Well, he's got the defense to go with it. Strickland's going to have to try a masse or a jump. Chose the masse and overcut the ball. Missed it on the pro side. Head. That's a little something you can use next time you play too.
Side,
yeah, the pro side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 5-9 appears to be the only problem, and Earl may attack it early in this rack. Wasn't able to. Appears as though he may have come pretty straight in on the 3. I know what he'd like to do is get down below the 5-9 so that he could shoot the 5 ball clean all the way down the table into the corner pocket. He made a nice breakout.
Yeah.
Very nice breakout. And now he's faced with the task of making 2 difficult shots in a row beyond what he's already made. The angle's not very conducive to the ideal position here. This is ultra difficult when you elevate like this. It happens to be the Earl Strickland forte.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's made the 2 difficult shots, and he's got the rack spread perfectly for him to go ahead and clear out the game.
Honestly, to doing that,
he made a tough situation look easy.
and again, Strickland with a 6-game lead at 53-47.
I'm aware. Yeah. Probably 2 frames or so. 2 or 3.
Strickland set to break now. Leading in the match by 6 games. He's made a tremendous
break there.
Stopped the cue ball dead in the center of the table, and the 4 ball came and lodged between him and the 2 ball.
Well, Earl Strickland has certainly shown us a remarkable play in this second night of the Color of Money $100,000 challenge. Winner take all here at Ridgway's Bar and Restaurant in Hong Kong. Has a 6-game lead at 53-47. But this really looks like a difficult shot here, Mike.
Well, he's declared push.
Push. Of course, Efren will now have the option to take the shot or return it to Strickland. So far, I haven't seen Efren back away from a shot.
I think earlier tonight that he gave one back, but it was really a difficult situation. But generally, the incoming player is going to accept the shot. Oh, what a tremendous cut shot. Tremendous cut shot.
Well, he's had a couple of misses on those cut shots tonight, Mike. But that one he did perfectly.
He hasn't been very fortunate on the leave, and now he's faced with an even more difficult shot than what he just played. Yeah, he barely missed it, but
Yeah.
he missed nonetheless, and looks like a sure win for Earl.
things have certainly been looking up as far as Earl Strickland's game is concerned tonight. Remember, folks, that tonight's session will end when either player reaches 70 games to come back tomorrow and go for 120. Right now, Strickland with another 7.7 game lead at 54-47.
Ladies and gentlemen, after this rack, we're going to adjourn for a 30-minute break.
Off the break, a miss by Earl Strickland on the 2-ball. He leads the match 54 to 47.
The position to get in the 3-ball is not easy. It's an awkward angle to work with, and once again the ball's right deep in the pocket. Tremendous shot.
Efren gets it back there.
Tremendous shot.
And now a golden opportunity for Efren to bounce back, as he is now falling behind by 7 games.
For us lesser skilled players, the scratch looms quite large in the shot that Efren had just played. And I'm here to tell you, the way he hit it, such authority and accuracy, it absolutely took the scratch right out of it, even though the cue ball did wander quite close to the side pocket. It was under total control. Once again, Efren's having to fight with the rack. The balls, just the angles aren't coming up that conducive to him coasting through them as effortlessly as we're used to seeing. A nice position shot there. A pretty important rack, I think, to obtain right here before the break.
Yes. What would you say that Efren would have wanted to continue and pick up on his momentum?
No, I think he's ready for a break.
All right, we're going to have a 30-minute break with the score now standing at 54 for Strickland and 48 for Efren Reyes. We're back from the 30-minute break, during which Efren spent most of the time at the table warming up, and Earl Strickland actually left for a while, went out of the venue, Mike.
Yeah, he just wanted to have an opportunity to collect his thoughts and come back and give it absolute 100% effort. He's by no means anywhere near out of the woods.
Oh, yes. Well, Strickland still leads the match, 54 games to 48. And again, Efren Reyes does not get the good fortune of knocking any of the balls in. So that'll bring up Earl Strickland once again.
Look at the positioning that the cue ball had for Efren. Had a ball gone in,
Yeah.
there was a great likelihood that he would have cleared up the game.
Had the ball spread out all over the table.
I think Earl's overhit that ball, and this is very similar to the way the match started out tonight. Earl had a nice layout to run out and didn't quite obtain that run out.
Certainly, that was a very difficult shot. And
Yeah,
Efren Reyes is up.
He made a good attempt at it, but was not fortunate. nice clean ball pocket. Really, there's not an existing problem with the remaining balls. It's just that Efren has to remain focused, and this requires energy to maintain that high level of concentration. The concentration won't take a toll on this particular rack, but toward the end of the evening, sometimes it's eaten away at your energy level enough that a few more misses come a little easier.
Well, Efren takes care of that one and goes up to 49 games won, as against the 54 of Earl Strickland.
Well, during the break, I was adding up the break and runouts for this, and Earl Strickland so far has made 9 break and runouts. Efren has made 5. Beyond the 5, however, he did get a 9-ball in on the break. So Earl actually leads in games where either player had denied his opponent access to the table by 3.
Oh, but another stroke of bad luck there as Efren scratches.
He made quite a few balls on the break, too.
Yeah.
Looks like he might have made 3 balls. It's a funny thing how the balls break. Sometimes he hit the break previous to this, just absolutely crushing, stopping the cue ball right in the center of the table, made nothing. Then he comes in here and he actually mishit the cue ball slightly with a little topspin, made 3 balls. Strickland prepares to capture a game.
And he reestablishes a 6-game lead at 55-49.
Well, during the break, I was able to sift through the crowd and kind of get the feeling or the flavor of their opinion. On screen now we see our host,
Well,
Mr.
he
Robert
seems
Moore.
pretty happy about the way things are turning out.
Yeah, it's been a very pleasurable match to watch, commentate.
You were saying during the break you talked to some
I sifted through the crowd, and the overall consensus was everybody was just delighted with the performance of both players.
Oh,
Electric atmosphere here. We're at Ridgeway's American Pool Bar in Hong Kong.
And you just saw the gentleman responsible for this spectacular event, Mr. Bob Moore. Of course, we also have Mr. Popit Puyat, who just planed in today to lend moral support. And of course, he has also backstopped Mr. Bob Moore in the staging of this match.
Boy, a tremendous shot, Strickland. The shot that he just made we call spinning the ball in. Another tremendous shot by Strickland.
Strickland on his way again to picking up another game. It's game 56 for Strickland, as against 49 by Efren Reyes. We'll be right back. Score standing at 56 for Strickland, 49 for Efren Reyes. Strickland at the break.
Well, another tremendous break.
I guess good position for the one ball.
Yeah, there's really everything's on the open. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see yet a second consecutive break and run out by Earl Strickland.
Oh, he's on his way.
Yeah, it was a nice shot.
Oh, very controlled shot there by Strickland.
He's gone right back into opening up very fast and furious.
Well, that's the way he started tonight.
Certainly the break has reinvigorated him.
Certainly looks that way. It is now an 8-game advantage for Earl Strickland at 57 games to Efren Reyes' 49. Color of money, that's what it's called. $100,000 challenge. Winner take all between Earl Strickland of the United States and Efren Reyes of the Philippines. Currently, Strickland leads at 57 games to 49. The first to reach 70 games will wrap up the session this evening. Second night of this affair here at Ridgway's Bar and Restaurant in Hong Kong. There will be the third night to cap it tomorrow night.
Oh, we're going to get to see a patented Earl Strickland jump shot.
Oh boy.
A shot for most would be unmakeable or even unthinkable, and for him it's almost an automatic.
That's something you'd like to see over and over again. Didn't do as well with that one.
No, that was the wide open offense that I've alluded to periodically throughout the match. That sometimes Efren might have chose a safety or defensive posture there because that was such a difficult shot. Well, once again, Efren has to open up with a difficult lay of the balls to clear him up, and especially considering this is essentially his first good shot after the break. That was a tremendous shot. He used warp drive speed.
What did you call that again?
Warp drive, and it's a Star Trek term.
Oh, okay.
These racks are coming about as difficult as pulling teeth for Efren and for Earl. It's just like a hot knife through butter. It's just the way the balls have laid tonight. It's really a credit to Efren Bada's immense talent to even be this close in the match.
Well, he picks up a game here to narrow the gap a bit at 57-50.
Well, we're approaching the midway point of this 3-day event. Both players well within range of winning this.
Well, it's one thing nice about this format is it affords each player an opportunity to get back. But again, the break has just slipped away from Efren, or the luck of the break.
Well, to be honest with you, I feel partially responsible for Efren's bad luck on the break.
Why is that?
Earlier in the event, Earl Strickland was allowed to pound the balls into the table at the rack area. And what it does is it takes some of the speed out of the rack. And Earl figures to have a little bit better break anyway, a little higher volume of power. But and it's kind of bore out. Most of the time when Efren hits the rack solid, the balls haven't gone to the same distance that maybe they would have had they not been down in little pits. Unfortunately, at this stage of the game, we're going to have to play on as the table exists.
What's Efren faced with now, Mark?
Well, he made a tremendous shot, but unfortunately he's going to have to kick at this, and even the great Efren Reyes is going to have a hard time making a safety out of this. I think this is one of the few times you'll see him kick hard and that essentially roll the dice. It's actually going to turn out okay. Left a very difficult combination shot. Safety's not an easy play either. Earl's weighing up the options, and for all the pool players watching this video, whenever you're come up with a situation where it's very difficult to play safe or very difficult to play offense, generally we choose offense because you still may luck into a safety beyond that. And 9 balls an offensive game. Earl made a tremendous shot. He had to move both balls around the table. It turned out quite favorable for him. Efren now is going to have to return some sort of a safety.
He wasn't too happy with that.
No, he really hasn't been very fortunate with the lay of the balls tonight. He had to shoot that from 9 feet away. So makes it immensely difficult. Tremendous power displayed by Earl Strickland to get proper position on the 4 ball.
And Strickland again on his way to picking up another win and establishing another 8-game advantage. So it's score downstairs at 58 games for Strickland, 50 for Reyes. Earl Strickland at the break with a score at 58 for Strickland, 50 for Efren Reyes. Again, he gets the one ball at the side pocket.
And a lot of drive in his back leg and a big follow through. You can really see the effect it has on the balls.
What a great shot.
What a spectacular kick shot. The speed that he played that, there was a good likelihood that he'd been safe had he missed the ball. And yet another secondary good shot. He was pretty straight in on the previous ball, and they had to really force that cue ball up there to obtain any type of a shot on the 5. Strickland's coasting through these racks pretty effortlessly.
Oh yes, certainly looks like it. And this will be the biggest lead of the match, a 9-game advantage by Earl Strickland over Efren Reyes, 59-50.
And there we see the slow motion of the spectacular shot that opened up the entire rack for Earl off the break. And he really created a game-winning shot there.
Oh yes, and these two players have certainly wowed the crowd here at Ridgeways with their spectacular pool savvy.
Now we're getting a color of money photo.
That's
here.
the color of money. Remember, folks, this is a winner-take-all affair.
Cue ball got away from him a little bit. But, fortuitous kiss.
Looks like Earl Strickland is going off with a spectacular attack here off the 30-minute break that we had earlier, Mike.
Well, he's really barraged Efren throughout the first half of this event with breaking runouts.
You will recall, ladies and gentlemen, that we ended the first night of this match with Strickland taking a 3-game advantage, but it has now ballooned to 9 games. It looks like it'll become 10 after this shot. Yes, 60-50 is the count. Big onslaught here by Earl Strickland.
So at the midway point of the match now, Efren trails by 10 games.
I'd like to remind you that a total of 120 games won will mean 100,000 American dollars for the player who scores 120 games in the 3-day or 3-night stretch of this match.
More importantly, I think the title of absolute best player on the planet goes with this, and I think it means a lot more to these two guys than the money. Well, he's levied another tremendous blow in the rack. And he plays with a certain fire and passion that you don't see displayed by very many players.
Well, as we said at the start of this match, this match is in study in contrast, and that spectacular shot ends that game.
And we're in the midst of another 3-game series of break and runouts. Here's a slow
Watch
motion.
this.
Well executed.
Well, Strickland certainly looks like he is in the zone. And I think this really takes a lot out of Efren Reyes to just be sitting around watching Earl Strickland do his thing. And it's going to be extra difficult for him to try and get back in this match, at least for tonight.
Yeah, he has the heart of a champion now, so I wouldn't discount him just yet. But he certainly has to come to the table more often than what he's been allowed to.
But the way Strickland is playing is not about to let Efren get too many opportunities.
Well, you're right, Ed. And the real battle for Mr. Strickland is himself right now. If he can keep his composure and poise up the way he's playing, he has a very good chance to win the overall match.
Well, so far, Earl has displayed a lot of control tonight as opposed to his antics last night.
Well, I think he realized that it's not going to wear well with the fans here in Hong Kong, nor his own emotional state. He just can't allow himself to burn up so much energy. It's much too long of a match.
Well, here's a chance for Efren.
Well, once again, it's not much of a chance. He's got to make a terrible, difficult three
right
ball.
Across the table.
And beyond that, there's no reward. The four ball doesn't go readily, so now you really don't want to have to take a gamble. And this is essentially the way this evening's event is played out for Efren. He's absolutely going to have to pull out some magic. For the people that watch the tape, if you notice how the ball is laid, he's perpetually confronted with situations like this, and not to take anything away from Earl's play, because his is all established off the break. He's getting a lot of good opportunities. Well, that was not a miss. That was a straightaway defensive shot. And it would appear Earl has some type of a combination on the 5 ball. He's eyeing it up now. Problem with the combination on the 5 ball, 1, it's very difficult because you're so long. But 2, obtaining position on the 3 beyond making the 5. It's asking for an awful lot. And I think he's wisely chosen a
Defensive
save.
play by Earl Strickland.
Believe you me, this is going to be a difficult hit. There's 2 balls very near the 3. And if Efren approaches it from the side of the table, it's going to take quite a shot. Well, he could hit it directly, so once again, I was wrong. He made a terrific shot.
Yeah. And Strickland scratches that one.
Yeah, he seemed a little exasperated there. He made a pretty good hit.
And Efren Reyes takes time out to wipe his cue stick.
More importantly, Ed, I think he took the time out not so much to wipe the stick as to compose himself.
Correct,
He's been
yes.
confronted with one difficult shot after the other, and it's really very draining to have to play like this.
He needed that break.
It's just a moment to collect your thoughts.
Mhm.
Give 100% commitment to that next shot.
One thing he knows, he can't afford to get careless at this juncture.
Well, these two players, you can be assured that Efren's never going to be the one that gets careless. Now, the other guy, he plays a little bit more by the seat of his pants, and occasionally he will let one slip away where he got a little carefree.
That brings up the score to 61-51 in favor of Earl Strickland. Well, just before the break of Efren Reyes, Earl Strickland again talked to the referee. What was that about?
I couldn't hear. I wasn't sure. Efren's switching cue ball positions here in an effort to get a little different action into the rack. He's been hitting the rack awfully good from where he's been, but he hasn't had that much result.
Well, not too much luck there either.
No, I'm not sure what type of a shot Earl's confronted with here. When you see the ball sift to the back end of the table, it's really all you can ask for. If the wing balls aren't flying in and you get that much distance on them, it's the best chance you can give yourself to make the ball break. Well, it was a right shot. Efren has to come to the table with yet another very difficult opportunity.
The match stands at 61 games for Strickland, 51 for Efren Reyes. And Efren takes time out to ponder his next move.
Well, this is not much here, I'm afraid. You may be thinking of taking an intentional foul. He needs to do that as well because the 8 ball's virtually in the jaws of the side pocket. And that, if you were to tie the 3 up with the 6, that gives you so many options to have a ball hanging in the pocket near where the ball you're going to try to tie it up with. Looks like he's going to try to lose the 3 ball. Down by the 7. He was asking for quite a bit there. That's the difficulty when you have to attempt to move an object ball that distance with the speed. It's awful difficult to control it. These guys just virtually don't miss, do they?
Mm-hmm. It's just unbelievable how they can keep up this level of play for so long a time.
Strickland's still in the decision phase of this shot.
of the rare misses that we've seen here tonight.
Yeah, it was a difficult shot. Anytime you have a bank shot, it is an iffy proposition.
Efren trying to bridge a 10-game gap here. 61-51 in favor of Strickland.
Look at the length of the bridge on this one. Efren must have had 2.5 feet of cue out in front of his bridge hand.
Well, Efren now with 2 games in a row to narrow that wide gap earlier. The biggest lead was at 11 games at 61-50. Game now stands at 61-52.
It'll be interesting to see where Efren breaks from. He hit him good nearly every single time tonight. And last hour or so, he really hasn't had much result. He's back out in the center of the table. He's going to make the 5-ball here. Sounds like something else went in as well. He's going to be rewarded. A nice solid break. 1 ball goes in the side pocket.
He's been having problems with the break, and now this is certainly a welcome opportunity for him.
The transition from the 2 to the 3 is going to be the difficult part of this. He's got a little bit of an awkward off-angle shot. He's going to have to power up and stretch out to get this. This shot requires a great deal of power. I don't know if he's going to be rewarded for this shot. Yeah, I know he's not happy with the outcome of that. He's forced to play a spin shot with the left hand. Hit it spectacular. Had to give a little bit away on positioning, though, due to the fact it was such a difficult shot. Another terrific shot.
After playing catch-up again with Earl Strickland. And he cuts the lead. It now stands at 61-53.
Well, he fought through yet another extremely difficult rack.
That's been the story of Efren's life in this match. Seems that he's been faced with one problem after the other, as far as the lay of the balls are concerned, but he's been handling himself pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he truly is a champion. And interestingly enough, Strickland has played at a level that I think is here before never seen in Pro 9 ball, believe it or not. And it's really, that part of it's interesting. But the thing that interests me the most is how Efren has been able to fight and claw for the games that he's had to receive, because he certainly had to work harder of the two.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how he bears up through the rest of the evening. Now, do you see the friction on the table did not allow that cue ball to go in the pocket. Last night when we played, that ball would have scratched.
Yeah.
And as the nap gets roughed up throughout the rest of the play tonight and tomorrow, that's going to make ball pocketing that much more difficult. And Strickland's going to attempt a tremendous shot here. And you can see by the difficulty with that one, he missed it by a pretty good margin. Probably the first time in the entire tournament we ever saw him miss a ball by 3 inches.
But this is not an easy shot for
Efren. No. Hey, didn't catch much of a break here. But this is usually enough for the master to work with, though. I would say that he is the favorite to turn this into a favorable position. I'm not saying he's going to make the one, but I think he's going to play a defensive shot that's going to end up working out to his advantage. It's like a rail first kick shot, bringing the cue ball the opposite end of the table, leaving one ball on this end. And I think you can kind of get an idea of what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Not sure if it worked out perfectly, but he gave it a tremendous go.
Could have used a couple of more inches, I guess. Well, we can't really tell from this angle.
Yeah, he must be able, I can tell by the way Earl's queuing up, he thinks he can make the ball. Mental toughness required to play this game is incredible. These guys are in tremendous physical shape to be able to maintain this high level of play with this volume of play.
The pressure is really at a very high degree. And as you said, over a long period of time.
And to their credit, both of them made lots of difficult shots tonight. They make them look so easy, they don't appear to be difficult. But I definitely know how hard they are.
I'm sure you do.
A lot of times back home, neophyte people watching pool, they will say to me, "Mark, I watched that pool match on TV last night, and the guy didn't even bank any shots." They think that has something to do with being a good player, or the good players. Actually, they play position in such a way that they don't have to bank very many balls.
Yeah. And the score now is 62 for Strickland and 53 for Efren Reyes. Back with us here at Ridgeway's Bar and Restaurant in Hong Kong for this $100,000 winner-take-all challenge between Earl Strickland of the United States and Efren Reyes of the Philippines. Strickland with a 9.9 game edge over Reyes at 62 games to 53. So Strickland needs only 8 more games to wrap up the session for tonight and be back tomorrow to go for 120 to win it all.
That was a two-way shot. He played the bank shot to land a little bit to the high side of the pocket, and should he miss it, then it ends up like this, as we see, and it's a very difficult attempt for Efren to play safe. It's virtually, well, there's a very low percentage offensive shot, but there's virtually no chance we'll see him play that.
Let's see what the magician comes up with.
But believe it or not, that's an absolute tremendous shot.
Oh, yes.
a skill, the level of difficulty and the skill to execute that would be as tough as most of the balls that we've seen made tonight. There's a lot more to this game than just putting balls in the hole.
Oh, you've certainly made that clear, Mike.
And that's a tremendous safety. Yes. Tremendous safety.
Out there by Efren.
Certainly was. He had to use absolute minimum speed so the ball didn't leave the cushion very much. He had to play that ball rail first.
What does this look like, Mike?
Well, looks extremely difficult. 9 feet away and a very thin cut. Yeah, another spectacular shot. I'm not sure how it's going to come out position-wise. Looks like anything would be better than what he's had. So, but still not the most enviable position to be in. Well, if Efren can get out from here, this will end up being the most difficult run out we've seen tonight. Another tremendous shot. Maximum speed to a half pocket. Anytime the ball travels down the rail edge, the pocket's actually cut in half. It's not the same width as if you come at it from the middle of the table. Another half pocket shot. Look at this. Absolutely incredible. Oftentimes when you have one tough shot, it just leads to another one because you cannot obtain the mastery or control over the cue ball. And to power up yet again. I think finally, after 9 shots, he's going to end up with one that he actually would find tasteful. And extremely well done.
That's with number 54 for Efren Reyes. As against 62 by Earl Strickland.
You know, can I get another one of these? Yeah.
Okay, Efren set to break. What a tremendous run out he just made.
As you said, Mike, one of the most difficult situations that Efren Reyes faced.
A lot of balls on the rail, a lot of balls near the side pocket, and those are the conditions that make a run out very difficult.
But Efren Reyes continuously has been having a run of bad luck on the break. It's not that he hits it bad. It's just that none of the balls would go in.
You can see, look at the distance. He has 6 balls down there on the break end of the table. 7 ball near the pocket. Oh, tremendous shot by Earl Strickland. He laid it in there just perfect.
Would you say that power at the break is a decided advantage?
Oh, definitely, yeah. That's what gives the Earl the, that's one of the big edges in 9 balls. If you can get that first ball in and have a chance to play the safety or the run out. Big edge. Strickland used the bridge, one of the few times that we've seen the other player have to use the bridge.
Once again, Strickland draws closer to wrapping up tonight's session. He's got 7 games to go, while Efren Reyes has 54 games won, needs 70 to end the session tonight. Score stands at 63 for Strickland, 54 for Efren Reyes in the $100,000 challenge, winner-take-all 9-ball format. First to reach 120 games takes home the $100,000 over a 3-night stretch here at Rich Ray's Bar and Restaurant in Hong Kong. Strickland leading the match 63 games to 54.
Strickland played a wide open offensive shot, and it's been working well for him tonight. But this time he just rimmed the pocket. Gives Efren a chance to come back to the table. Now, if the 7 ball is not too much of a problem at the side pocket, then I think this will be one of the easier layouts Efren's come to the table facing. It does look like the 7 ball goes into the side pocket readily. Played a nice opening shot, so they had an easy angle to get over here on the 4. The 4's on the rail near the side pocket. You really don't want to have to work the cue ball too much in getting to the position that he's obtained. The less travel you put on the cue ball, the less things can go wrong. Counter to what most people think, these players do not use a great deal of side spin, left or right side spin. It's primarily up and down on the cue ball. They stay in the center, and then that produces a shot that's very accurate, and then they just vary the speed and adjust it with top and bottom. That was a delicate shot. He had to use a great deal of power, but yet not travel the cue ball very far. And that was the master's touch. And he's snipped this rack down to a very manageable 3 balls. Got them laid out in perfect alignment for him. You notice he plays a nice angle here, so the cue ball naturally wants to come around the table 3 cushions. He's a little low. And once it leaves his 3rd rail, it's always coming into his prime position area.
That's the 55th game won by Efren Reyes. He's down by 8. 63-55. But the score at 63 for Strickland, 55 for Efren Reyes. Efren at the break.
Well, he broke him really hard. And he stopped the cue ball nicely, and he got a ball in, but unfortunately it wasn't a live corner ball that went in. And so anytime that happens, then you're just relying on, well, you've dropped your percentage down a third. You're down to about 33% of the time you'll make a ball, and you're just relying on random hope that something will sift in.
Well, I guess he's trying everything in the book as far as the break is concerned.
Oh, yeah, and he's hitting it very well tonight. There's nothing about his performance tonight does he need to be ashamed of. He's just not been offered the same amount of offensive opportunities, and it's really a credit to the master to be in the match as close as he is at this point, with the limited offensive opportunities he's had. Well, he's dispatching this rack pretty nicely. He's checking his angle.
Well, Efren can't afford to let this match get away from him, considering the length of the tournament. And right now he's just pushing on to try and get as close as he can.
Well, he picked up a fairly straight-in shot here, and he's going to have to make a draw stroke, some 4 to 6 feet, and he wants to make sure he hits this very cleanly. It's been a good shot. He maneuvered the cue ball back into favorable position to clear up the last two. Pick up his 56th win.
Yes, that's win 56 for Efren Reyes. And he is down by 7 games to Earl Strickland, 56 to 63.
And despite Earl Strickland's lead, he continues to maintain a running commentary with anyone who will listen to him, and that sometimes he doesn't need anyone, he'll talk to himself. Winning or losing doesn't seem to much affect his outward demeanor.
Yeah, he seems pretty consistent along that line.
Efren's now opted to break off the side cushion over here, realizing last time just good fortune. He's trying to seek a spot. He did make a ball. He's trying to seek a spot that will provide the wing ball, the corner ball, or the one ball going in on a semi-regular basis. Efren has a little smile. Once again presented with not much to work with.
Hasn't been a bed of roses for Efren, has it?
No, this has been a lesson in tenacity for anyone looking on to see how a fighter goes about this. He's repeatedly barraged with flurries of racks where he just had to sit and wait and wait and wait. And then when it would be his turn, he had to come to the table and face something on this order where it takes a spectacular shot just to try to buy yourself a second opportunity at the table. Pretty sure we're looking at a safety play here. Or maybe even a push out.
In this sort of a situation, Mark, does it really take a lot out of a player like Efren to be continuously barraged with difficult posers.
Yeah, when you see, look at the amount of energy he's expending on the thought process. It's not the physical energy, but it's a lot of mental thinking and visualizing. And this has got to be very draining, energy-wise. You throw a load of stress on there and have to constantly be concentrating. And most people have had a mammoth headache by now.
Yeah.
He's declared a push out. And he's going to try to move the fly ball. Well, he's going to shoot the fly ball. No, he didn't. Not sure if he's going to shoot it in the pocket or not.
And Strickland gives it back to Efren.
It's kind of an interesting thing with this push out because Efren's mentality is that he has to shoot at this, and as the incoming player, you come up to a shot like this and you don't have to shoot at it, so you're a little reluctant to take a wild gamble. And as the incoming player, you're forced to. So sometimes your approach, as the incoming player, you can make things happen from nowhere sometimes. That's a situation that Efren finds himself in, and he'd sure like to make something happen here.
The last couple of turns that Efren has come up to the table has really been very difficult for him.
Well, it's out of his control now. He was double kissed. And somewhat fortunate. It left Earl off angle bank. One that I wouldn't be surprised to see him make, but making this bank and obtaining position is extremely difficult. Right now, Earl's weighing up the possibility of playing safe. Looks like he is playing safe. Let's move the cue ball to the other end of the table. And he's got the 7 balls, a blocking ball. So I believe now we'll see a Efren Reyes kick shot. And a solid contact on the 1 will produce some pretty good action on the 1 ball, which may run into the 9 or 2 and come over here by us and go in the pocket. You can see the action I was talking about. Dash the cue ball right through the key area.
Strickland leads the series 63 to 56.
There's nothing fancy here. This is going to be straightaway shot making in the rest of this rack. Once again, both players have put on a magnificent performance.
Oh, yes. Well, the crowd is just sitting in awe of the performances being displayed by these two great cue stick wielders.
The pace of the match has slowed down just a bit here in the closing stages, and nonetheless, the performance has been remarkable. Here's another tremendous safety. And this is really the type of game that suits Efren the best. It's one of the few games today I remember where we had a few exchanges of safeties in a rack. Strickland attempted a difficult bank shot. He's made it. And he's received a huge reward. The cue ball landed in the ideal position to clear up the table.
Well, last night, Mark, I asked you if there is going to be a point in the match where you can say that there is a safe lead. What sort of a lead are we talking about?
Well, it would certainly have to be more than 10 games because the match should be well in hand. If it would approach 20 games, I would say then that would be decisive. But 10 games is not a big enough turnaround. These guys can clip off 3, 4, 5 games at a time. So,
all right, we'll take a short break. Score of the match currently is 64, Strickland 56, Reyes. And at the break, Earl Strickland.
well, he's definitely won that aspect of the match thus far. He's getting balls to fly in the pocket off the break, and Efren, despite hitting him very well, doesn't quite have the same volume of power, and he's not getting the early balls on the break. Interestingly enough, we have the two absolute, universally agreed upon best players in the world here playing this match, and it's been reflected in the performance. And if there was anyone worldwide that was in doubt of that, I'm sure they could just bring $100,000 here to Hong Kong and test their luck. Very nice shot. Efren opened up this rack with a very nice shot.
Well, it's down by 8 games, and it's been a big struggle for Efren.
I would say that if Efren was within 5 games of Earl, he could consider tonight a victory.
Well, we started this second night with Earl Strickland enjoying only a 3-game advantage, but that has so far widened in this session to even 11 games. Right now stands at 8.
Well, we have 2 sluggers standing toe-to-toe going at it here.
Yeah.
Strictly the warrior mentality.
And it's been such an experience, Mark, watching this sort of a game being played to a very high level.
As you get to know the players and the personalities, it becomes compelling drama to watch something like this played out.
And the score is now 64 Strickland, 57 Reyes. And Efren will have his turn at the break once again. Efren Reyes at the break. He's down by 7 games, 64 to 57.
Yeah, he hit him just about perfect, but just bad luck.
Again. Well, we see Mr. Bobit Puyat in the background there, sidling up to Efren Reyes to give him some words of encouragement. Ooh.
Well, it wasn't an easy chance for Earl, though. That was a difficult shot. He just rimmed the pocket. He may have, in fact, even had to slightly masse that ball to get it in there. Efren's not happy with the position that he's played, but by no means has it been an easy task. Hanging up a 3 cushion position on this, he's going to have to kind of work the cue ball around the 7 to get to the inside rail. And look at this shot.
Exactly as he called it.
Oh, magnificent. Now he's got pretty straight in on this 3 ball, and the proximity of the 8 ball over here on the rail really limits him to what he can do. He's just going to have to play the shot-making game. He made a tremendous shot to just get a little bit of position. And while there are not probably 2 or 3 shot makers in the world better than Efren Reyes, he happens to be playing one of them. And so he needs to play a position game here when he can.
Well, he is an acknowledged master of that style of playing.
You know, a lot of Efren's worldwide success, we have to give credit to his manager and close friend, Rolando Vicente, yes. Yeah, he travels with him everywhere and sees to it that Efren's in good shape for his matches. He helps and takes care of a lot of the detail work that would absolutely supplant the ability to concentrate at a high level if you had to take care of every detail for yourself.
Score is now 64 Strickland, 58 Reyes. This game advantage by Earl Strickland over Efren Reyes, but Efren has had the break.
Another tremendous break.
Oh,
No reward.
That one.
Yeah. We're seeing a little emotion and a little concern on the face of Efren Reyes now that it's a little unusual. Usually he's very passive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can lean down and look. I think he can hit it. I just don't know if he can make it. Looks like he's deprived of the exact place he needs to be able to hit it to make it. It's been a nice defensive shot. Didn't turn out perfectly, but certainly difficult enough that I was going to have a wipe of the towel and clear his mind to try to execute a delicate safety. And he may try to pot this in the side pocket, and should he miss, come out safe.
Good shot there by Strickland.
Actually, that was the game-winning shot. The balls are laid out here pretty nice for him. Well, it was at this stage of the match last night that we saw fatigue start to weigh in a little bit, and I think we may see it rear its ugly head here again. But you know, a match of any less in length would not be decisive enough to declare a winner. Right now, the match still hangs in the balance, despite the fact that Strickland has a 6-game lead. That's just not much of a lead in this high level of play.
Well, the lead had gone up to 11 games earlier, but Efren Reyes has certainly hung tough.
Yeah, he kind of circled the wagons there and fought off the Strickland onslaught there.
But again, Strickland displaying his offensive juggernaut here. And Earl Strickland leads it by 7, 65 games to 58. Score of the match at 65 Strickland, 58 Reyes.
Strickland dropped a couple balls in the break. Not sure what he can do with the 2-ball here. This would look like a situation that you would try to put the cube with a 2-ball on the end rail by the piece of chalk down there and bring the cue ball to this end of the table down by the 8 and 9 ball. He's done exactly that. Well, he executed absolutely perfectly and left Efren virtually nothing to work with. Three of the rules in safety play, Earl has accomplished 2 of them. 1, we want distance. 2, you want the balls on the rail. 3, you want impeding balls. Look at this shot. Look at this shot. Shot of the night. Yeah, I think Efren's pretty satisfied with the outcome of that shot.
Oh, yes. And so is the
That
crowd.
distance. Well, from that distance, that's just absolutely remarkable.
Well, Earl Strickland once again verbalizing his thoughts.
Well, by getting that off his chest, he's not going to allow stress to make a short end of his life. But unfortunately, I'm afraid I'm going to be the recipient of a very nice 2-rail kick. Well, the Masters really created something, an opportunity from nothing this time.
Efren Reyes again, fighting off a 7-game deficit.
He's been steadily chipping away at the lead again.
Yeah.
Earl runs out to a big lead, and then Efren chips away to get it back reduced. It's manageable.
As you mentioned earlier, it has not been an easy task for Efren. But he manages to win this game, and again, strike at the lead of Earl Strickland now stands at 6 games at 65-59. Efren Reyes down by 6 games, 59-65, and he's, that's the second time that we've seen a cue ball fly off.
Yeah, once for each player. Efren made 2 balls in the break.
Too bad again for Efren.
This narrow always spells doom for this rack, and maybe several others beyond that. It's really a big penalty in pool when you make a mistake. With lesser skilled players, you don't even lose 1 game. These guys, sometimes you can lose 3 or 4.
Yeah. Opens up a lot of opportunities for your opponent.
Strickland's just a ball pocketing machine. It's been an extremely nice shot. Strickland giving us a bit of a history lesson. What he had to say was correct. You don't attempt to play position for the side pocket. It's a dangerous pocket to work with. Corner pocket offers you a lot more variety and opportunity to maneuver the cue ball from there.
And again, Strickland draws closer to ending up this particular segment of the match. He has 66 games as against 59 of Efren Bata Reyes.
Well, Strickland needs to win 4 more racks to take a lead home tonight, and I'm sure he'd be very happy to take any kind of a lead home. For Efren, well, he's still got a chance to draw near level in this event, and I think with the lay of the balls tonight, if he could be anywhere within the vicinity going into tomorrow night, he'd have to be very satisfied. You really hate to have to make up as much as a 10 or 12 game deficit. Anything less than that's quite manageable. But at 10 or 12 games, boy, you really have to do some playing. You don't afford yourself much opportunity to make any error whatsoever.
Especially if your opponent's playing this well.
Yeah, here's a situation that Efren didn't want to get into. The scratch on the break cost him last game, but now he's looking at the possibility of losing yet another game here. And this is really inspirational to watch pool played at this level. It makes a person feel like getting out there and practicing. These guys have developed this into an art.
Oh, yes. I'm sure our viewers will be just as awed as the live crowd here at the Joyce Bar and Restaurant that have really been treated to remarkable play by both players. Earl Strickland now has 67 games to the 59 of Efren. Strickland with an 8-game advantage.
Well, the scratch and the break has haunted him for 2 racks so far, and yet to be determined whether it'll be more. For how many racks we played, we've seen hardly any unforced turnovers up the table. Just very minimal. Been a nice shot.
There have been no easy shots for
No.
Efren in this match.
He just made a difficult shot, and he's confronted with yet another one.
What's he figuring out now?
Well, he's got to deal with getting on one side or the other of the 7 ball in order to get a shot on the 5. Neither position lends itself to transferring to the 6 ball by going straight at it. He's going to have to take at least a 1-rail route. Tremendous shot. That was shooting to a blind pocket, one of the absolute most difficult things you have to do in a pool game. It wasn't the position he would have liked to have had. He'd rather had the cue ball a little further off the cushion. But he showed some good shot-making skill to win this rack. He really hasn't had the opportunity to play his game tonight. He's had to be the shot maker and do the yeoman's task.
That is win number 60 for Efren Reyes. Strickland has 67.
Now we've got our cameraman lean in here and examine the score. And, I know who he's rooting for.
You can bet on that.
I'd like to see his countryman win, but as long as it's this close to 70, he might let Earl win these 3 games real quick and have Efren come back tomorrow and win. Yeah, Efren finally did make a ball in the break, but the fact that that ball barely got to the pocket and was the last one rolling, coming around the table, it doesn't bode well for him having good results time after time on the break. It's not that he's hitting it bad. He just does not have the same power that this Strickland kid has.
It's just been a bad night for Efren Reyes.
That really hasn't. He's played remarkably well. He just hasn't had the good opportunities.
Yeah.
So, if the pool gods aren't on your side, you're not going to do anything about it.
What happened there, Mike?
That's what we call a miss. I think maybe just a little bit of fatigue setting in, and believe me when I tell you that was not an easy shot. It looks like it'll go right in, but then they make so many of the other ones you think they're easy, but they're not. Yeah. We've had very few misses tonight. I'm a believer that this might be the most difficult game or sport on earth. It's so hugely physical as well as mental. It's not like lifting weights or something where if you're just strong, you're strong. You don't really have to have the terrific mind to go with it and the constant concentration and strategy to employ. And in this game, if you don't train, it really shows up as well. No matter how much knowledge you have, you're not constantly fine-tuning and honing your stroke. You won't be able to execute well enough to make all your knowledge count.
I think the mental fatigue really, or the mental factor, is a major portion of this game.
By all means.
Because once that gets away, the physical factor goes with it, follows suit.
You're exactly right. And for that reason, there's no such thing as an easy shot in pool. There's some that might be less difficult, but if you treat them as easy, then you tend to mentally give up or let up just a hair, and that's all it takes to miss in this game. Human nature is we're basically lazy, so we get one where it's easy. We kind of shift to a lower gear a little bit.
We get careless. Game's now 67 for Strickland, 61 for Efren Reyes.
And tomorrow night, 7? Okay. Or 7:30. 7:30.
Welcome back to Ridgeway's Bar and Restaurant here in Hong Kong, the venue of this terrific match between two great players, Efren Reyes of the Philippines and Earl Strickland of the United States. Score stands at 67 for Strickland and 61 for Efren Reyes.
Well, Efren made a ball right in on the break, which has been unusual here in the last hour or two. But not much of a reward. Yeah, not much of a reward. He's lining up a position, and I think it's where he would like to have the cue ball go. I don't think the one ball will go anywhere. I see. Well, he showed me a little speed. Almost made the cut shot and obtained position. And despite the fact that he missed, he was playing safe as well. That was one of those two-way shots. Earl says his nerves are bothering him a little bit.
The game should have progressed. The game stayed in limbo.
He's fairly agitated. Well, he gave it a tremendous go, making that ball. Seems like when he gives a little speech or soliloquy, he comes around and really gives a maximum effort on that big shot, doesn't he?
As you said, it's his way of letting off steam. And
I think I'm going to give that a try. Well, once again, terrible, difficult shot. And, Efren hasn't been overly rewarded for it.
Well, he's been digging deep into his bag of tricks, and we just hope he doesn't run out.
I want to tell you what the problem here is. The 8 ball is going to be struck by the cue ball after he tries to pocket the 2. And you have to come off the 8 ball just right, and it requires quite a bit of concentration. But if you let up on pocketing the 2 ball at all, you'll miss this in an effort to play the cue ball properly. So this shot has an added dimension of difficulty. He's executed it flawlessly. You really have to stay focused on those shots because that 8 ball just looms so large in your line of vision. Efren pocketed the 4 ball full authority. Sure, he's feeling a heck of a lot better about this rack.
Well, he's training by 6 now. He's gaining some ground.
He's just pecking away. It's kind of the tortoise and the hare story here.
But he's got to have a good flurry here to be able to put the pressure on Earl Strickland.
Well, he's got a little work in front of him here. He's going to have to use a little power to get the cue ball down here because he's so straight in on the 8. Yeah, extremely well executed. He made that look a lot easier. He moved the cue ball 7.5 feet plus the 3.5 feet at the wrong angle coming into the object ball. Looked easy, but it's not.
Yeah. And he narrows the gap again to just a 5-game advantage for Earl Strickland. Score stands 67-62.
This is a tremendous fight. This match may not even be long enough at this length to really have it.
Well, the 2 protagonists have really shown us high-class play all throughout.
Well, he went back to his favorite spot. And, isn't it kind of funny how all of us, you go back to that comfort spot that you like, even though you maybe are getting some results elsewhere, it's hard. It's hard to make yourself go over.
Way ahead of this one. Way ahead. Like a lot of people, but I tell you what, this guy's really great. God created another man.
Well, Earl saying some nice words about Efren Reyes.
God could just one man all that ability, could he not?
Well, Earl's just summed up all of his more kind speeches in the week. Yeah, he's not happy with his position here. What a ball pocketer, though. It just hits dead center. He must have had 2.5 feet of cue out in front of his bridge hand there. The long swing lends itself to power. It gives you much more time to generate tip speed.
Earl Strickland 2 games away from ending this particular segment of the match. He's got 68 games against 62 by Efren Reyes. Looking for the player who gets to 70 games first here in the second night of this $100,000 winner-take-all challenge in 9-ball between Earl Strickland of the United States and Efren Reyes of the Philippines. Currently, Strickland leads the match 68-62.
Interestingly enough, we've played 130 games. The 9-ball has gone in on the break only 3 times. So we're looking at about 2%. You know, a lot of people really think it goes in quite often. It really, pro caliber fight doesn't go in that often. There's a tremendous rail first shot.
Yeah.
He's going to have to do a little something yet, though. Confronted with another very difficult long straight in off the rail.
After now, a picture of concentration.
Yeah, tremendous shot. And that's what makes a champion. Really to bear down under the intense pressure. Suffering with a little fatigue on top of that.
What I tell you is, Efren's kind of a guy that doesn't give up. He just keeps on coming back at you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, neither one of these guys, they both have tremendous wills to win. He hit a little rough. He hit that ball a little bit rough, and it's going to be tough for him to get perfect. He's come off it okay, but a little fatigue has set in. That's a shot to the early night. He was executing quite freely. I'll tell you another thing. We've got two fighters standing here toe-to-toe slugging it out. And, if there was ever a valid comparison, I think you're witnessing that right now.
Efren Reyes comes back and narrows the gap once again, 68-63.
This has been just fantastic. Once again.
Oh, yes.
Unbelievable.
Just when everybody thought that the night was wearing down, all of a sudden Efren Reyes comes back and gives it another go.
Oh, yeah, good concentration on the break. No avail. Just showing a little sign of disgust. That opens up with a super shot. Now he's giving a few jokes.
I feel like I've been in the ring with him, I swear to God.
He even saying to himself he feels like he's in a boxing ring. And just here in the last hour, we've kind of seen a little more kinder, gentler Earl Strickland, and it plays well with the audience too.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Earl that a lot of us know and love. The style of play and the rebel without a cause attitude that just it completely sells with the American youth. They just love this guy. Find him so intriguing. And blessed with all the talent that you could ever hope to obtain. Look at this. He executed flawlessly.
And now Earl Strickland has 69 games of the 70 required to finish up this segment of the match. Efren Reyes with 63, down by 6.
I was going to give the rack a little inspection tonight.
Well, he hasn't done that too often.
No, he hasn't. Yeah, he made the one ball on the side. He's made the two ball on the side.
How does this position look to you?
Well, I'll tell you, two choices. He can duck the cue ball down below the 9 or go for a cross-side bank. Or he can just stop the cue ball and play safe this way. Now, the magician's going to have to pull a rabbit out of his hat.
Well, he's pulled a lot of them.
Yeah. Yes, he certainly has. This is a most unpleasant situation. No way to play a kick safety here. You're just going to have to kick to hit it. Hope for the best. Made a beautiful hit. Can't tell
Great
what.
safety.
Yeah. I guess right now Earl's getting the post-game interview out of the way in advance of. Well, Efren's nice hit his body one more turn of the table. By no means an easy turn, but it's 100% better than the way he came to the table last time.
Right. Almost.
Yeah, very difficult shot.
Yeah.
Nothing more needs to be said. Getting to the end of the night, we've been playing for roughly 5 hours. Earl now looks like a racehorse heading for the barn. He's well on his way to completing this last and final rack. Where's he going? Well, he's overhit his mark. He's got to do a little bit of execution here. He's going to go 3 cushions around. Well, he certainly didn't miss the center of the pocket on that shot, did he? Well, remarkable shooting.
That's the 70th game won in this segment. And Earl Strickland ups his lead to 7. Started off the evening with a 3-game advantage over Efren Reyes. But let me tell you, we're sure that Efren Bata Reyes will be back tomorrow. And it's going to be an even more interesting match. The first to get to 120 wins will win the $100,000 US dollar pot. This is Ed Pixon together with Mark Wilson. We'll bring you the rest of the match.